Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Ron Mackenzie LaFurgy. Whatever game you're playing, there's a good chance that you will ultimately be faced with a boss of some sort, whether you're fighting one at the end of every cave in Zelda, or working your way up to a final confrontation with Bowser. Boss fights add a new element to a game, forcing you to use your wits and reflexes to survive. But there are some bosses that make you want to put your fist through your frickin' screen, either because they're too damn strong, or too hard to hit, or even just straight up bugged. So get ready, because here are my top 10 hardest bosses in video games. Number 10. Bowser from Mario 64. Look, I know Bowser wasn't actually hard. I know the process of killing him was simple. I know the battle was basically the same as the previous battles. I know it should be a totally chill experience where you just spin him, aim, and hit the bomb. But I couldn't do it! Oh, it was the worst. I just couldn't do it. Even the first Bowser fight, it took me so long to get it right. And I'm not even talking about when I was a kid. I'm a grown-ass man, and this fight still makes me want to destroy my Nintendo. So yeah, feel free to judge me. I know there are harder bosses out there, but Bowser makes me cry. No shame. Number 9. Ultimate Alma from Ninja Gaiden Sigma. When a boss is tricky on easy difficulties, you know you're in for a ride on the harder ones. And Alma is no exception to this. This fight is actually pretty straightforward. Just use Flying Swallow and then combo the crap out of her. The thing that makes people hate Alma is the freaking camera. It's hard to aim everything and see the boss properly when the camera is harder to deal with than the one from Mario 64. There's nothing worse than dying to a boss that you should have beaten just because the game has awful camera controls. Number 8. Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. So you've trained up, battled your way up the tower, fighting boss after boss along the way, and now you're at the final boss. Bad news, it's gonna suck. Kefka can be an incredibly difficult boss to beat, especially if you're not prepared for the fight. Right off the bat, he'll use Heartless Angel to drop you to 1 health, so you better have some healing spells. And if you make it past that, I got bad news. Kefka gets progressively stronger as his health drops, busting out powerful magical attacks whenever you start to feel like you might just win. Awesome. Number 7. The Rebel flagship from Faster Than Light. I love me some FTL. I've played for hours and hours, and even though I'm still pretty terrible, I like to think that I at least know a little bit of what I'm doing. But every time I play, I dread the final level, because I know I need to take on the stupid flagship. Even on easy difficulties, you need to have a pretty decked out ship to beat it, with all its drones and missiles and overcharging nonsense. In harder levels, it becomes a real force to be reckoned with. And this boss is made even harder because if you die, guess what? You're starting over, from the beginning. So if you don't have your optimal setup, you may have just wasted the entire run. Pretty rough. Number 6. Lou in Guitar Hero 3. While Through the Fire and Flames is probably the most difficult song in the game, the guitar battle with Lou was definitely the hardest part of the story mode. I was always firmly mediocre at the game. I've only ever beaten Lou on hard, never on expert, and the dude's really tricky. Battling it out to The Devil Came Down to Georgia, the song starts out tough and only gets harder when he starts messing with you using his traps. And even if you manage to survive the onslaught, you also need to make him fail, generally by saving up a bunch of traps and using them all at once. This guy takes a lot of practice to beat. God, I want to play Guitar Hero now. Number 5. Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. If you're like me, one of the worst insults anyone could give you while playing a fighting game against them was that you were being cheap. This involves using the same move over and over again to win. As unsavory as it is to be cheap, Shao Kahn basically required you to be cheap, because he was just so hard. One mistake could find you suddenly at half health, so keep focused and get ready to spam your OP skills.
Shao Kahn wins.
Number 4. Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts. Sephiroth was a difficult boss to face in both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but many people find 1 to be harder because he was just so damn fast. Once you get rid of 1 layer of his health, he gets ridiculously quick, but that's okay because at least he has short range. Just kidding, his range is really long too, and basically requires you to use air attacks and spam strike rate. If you can avoid his blitz and manage to get your licks in, he can be beaten, but chances are it'll take a few tries. Or a dozen tries. Or 100 tries. Or he'll just destroy the game and go play League. Hopefully not that last one. Number 3. Ornstein Smile from Dark Souls. This list just would not be complete without an entry from the Dark Souls franchise, and there's plenty to choose from. While different bosses are hard for different people, one fight that's widely accepted as being mind-numbingly frustrating is the battle with Ornstein Smile. You're stuck fighting 2 powerful bosses at once, and when you kill one, you think, awesome, one down, one to go, suddenly the other one's back at full health and even stronger. And if you think they're bad the first time, just try using New Game Plus, because you ain't seen nothing yet. Number 2. Mike Tyson from Punch-Out. This is one that I'm sure surprised pretty much no one. This boss is kind of the poster boy for insanely difficult bosses. Since it was such an early game, it was limited in terms of length. So how do you make a game take longer to beat when you don't have much room? Well, you make the final boss frickin' impossible. When fighting Mike Tyson, you need to constantly dodge his attacks while waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It's so hard that many people just didn't finish the game, and I can't blame them. What a nightmare. Number 1. Pre-nerf Cthulhu from World of Warcraft. This one just has to be on this list because it was literally impossible to beat. When Cthulhu was released, players were having an awful lot of trouble killing him until a discovery was made. It was mathematically impossible to put out enough damage to kill Cthulhu. You just couldn't do enough damage to kill the tentacles and actually damage him before everyone you knew and loved died a painful death. Not only that, but there were a whole whack of bugs that made his tentacles spawn in weird places, making it so the party literally couldn't harm him. This was fixed so that he could, actually die, but it makes for a pretty funny story. And a damn hard boss. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed, please smack that thumbs up button and subscribe to Top 10 Gaming for more videos. Have you ever straight up given up on a game because a boss was too hard? Let me know in the comments section down below. Until next time, I'm Rob McKenzie with Top 10 Gaming. Later, gamers.